Hi everyone. This video will be the first I will make containing a variety of short random tips, some of which might be useful, others will answer questions that I don't need to make a full video on, and the rest will be fun facts that are probably no use to surviving the game at all. I've been asked about the tree guard in my base. This has no use and it's only for decoration, but if you're wondering about the end tables, they are a way of containing and blocking a tree guard. Walls alone will not contain a tree guard in a pen this small because the tree guards destroy walls. The problem though with just using the end tables is that if I did not have the walls outside of the end tables, the tree guard will somehow get out of the pen. I never see it happen on screen and I'm not exactly sure how or why it happens. But without the walls outside, the tree guard will eventually get out of the pen. The tree guard is still capable of sometimes destroying the walls even with the end tables blocking it. But as long as I repair the walls every now and then, the tree guard will not be able to do whatever it does to get past the end tables. I use the telelocator to bring in the tree guard, and I can use a lazy explorer to bring myself inside if I ever want to use the telelocator again. This is how I also added the stagehand. Before the game introduced the end tables, I used skeletons instead of the tables and a layer of walls outside the skeletons to block the tree guards. I asked someone to help me build it by dying over and over again to provide the skeletons. A more useful way of using the blocking ability of the end tables is during the Moonstone event. I had a feeling before that Clay was going to fix this in an update, but now they have also given us the boulders from the Antlion cave-ins, and I'm pretty sure that will accomplish the same effect. A lot of mobs are not capable of destroying the end tables or the boulders, and the boulders can even be moved so they can act as their own door for us to get in and out. But with the end tables, I can either destroy them to get inside and just rebuild them, or I can continue to use the lazy explorer. We don't even have to make the enclosure very big. The hounds and the werepigs are trying to attack the Moonstone. They are not trying to attack us. This way, it is easy to convert more than just one staff per full moon when the nights are longer during winter and spring. Moondials were an addition to the game that made it easier for us to follow the moon cycle, but there was always an easy way to know the day of our next full moon. Whenever the day ends in the number 1, and the number beside that 1 is an odd number, it is always going to be a full moon. So all of these days will have a full moon, and knowing that, I can easily tell that my next full moon will be on day 1991. Also, since there is now a new moon event, we can tell that it is going to be a new moon whenever the day ends in the number 1, but the number beside that 1 is an even number. So all of these days will have a new moon, and my next new moon will be on day 1981. There is a popular mod that gives us information like when the current season ends and when the next season starts. And since knowing exactly when the seasons change can be very important, the mod is very helpful to a lot of players. But the seasons, like the moon cycle, are also consistent. So it is possible to tell just from knowing the day number exactly when the seasons will start or end. Autumn is 20 days, winter is 15 days, spring is another 20 days, and summer is another 15 days. That's a total of 70 days before the cycle repeats itself. Because I am currently on day 1972, It seems a little difficult to know exactly when my seasons start or end. But when I count this in my head, it's not like I'm counting every season since day one. What I do is I remove all the 70-day cycles from my total number of days so that I end up with just my current 70-day cycle. After that, it is a lot easier for me to figure out the start and end of each season. I know that a lot of players who can do this will still want the mod just for the convenience of it, but if you want to try it out to see if you can survive without the mod, maybe this will help. I was on day 1972. I'm going to divide 1972 by 70 with a calculator. The calculator gives me 28 and a bunch of decimal numbers, but I only need the number 28. Now I'm going to multiply 28 by 70. That gives me 1960. Now I know that day 1960 was the last day before my new 70-day cycle started. So from here, it is much easier for me to tell the start and end of each season in my current 70-day cycle. It's a very simple formula in the calculator. Divide your current day by 70, remove the numbers after the decimal point, then multiply by 70. And that should give you the very last day of your previous summer before the first day of autumn. I've been working on a Varg area for a long time now. Gathering all the materials has taken me a lot longer than I expected, and it is still unfinished. I wanted to build a Varg area in sort of a decorative trophy way, but I haven't tried it this way before, so there was a lot of trial and error involved. But I finally decided on how I want it to work, so I'm going to show this part of the process. What I want is to eventually have 3 Vargs walled in the pens above. 2 of the Vargs will not have any function other than decoration. I can stop a Varg from spawning hounds if it has already spawned 5 hounds that are still alive. So I trapped 5 red hounds that came from this Varg in the walls below. It didn't have to be red hounds, I just wanted it that way. I already have a second Varg who has been happily living in my swamp for a while now. I'm going to teleport it here soon to the other pen and use it to trap 5 blue hounds. I can do it now because tomorrow is already winter. After doing that, the second Varg is not going to be able to spawn more hounds either. So the 2 Vargs and their 10 hounds are just going to decorate the area. Eventually, once I found the third Varg, I'm going to teleport it to the middle pen, and that is the one that I'm actually going to use. It will produce hounds for me whenever I want, and I will use the trap area to kill them for their meat, teeth, and gems. That's all for now, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.